This episode is brought to you by Progressive.
Are you driving your car or doing the laundry right now? Podcasts go best when they're bundled with another activity, like Progressive home and auto policies. They're best when bundled too.
Having these two policies together makes insurance easier and could help you save. Customers who save by switching their home and car insurance to Progressive save over $775 on average.
Quote a home and car bundle today at progressive.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $779 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states.
When you're in winter's favorite town, the snow-covered mountains surround you. A historic Main Street charms you. And every day brings a new adventure. Welcome to Park City, Utah. Naturally, winter's favorite town. Join the experience at visitparkcity.com.
Style. Steve and Kyle. Living in style. Steve and Kyle. Steve. Kyle. Living in style.
Oh, that's nice.
Listen to that.
Yeah.
You know what that smells like? No royalty checks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know I don't have to point it out. I know I don't have to tell you that that's Malt Shop Bop by Kevin MacLeod.
You know, now that you mentioned it, Steve, I envision myself...
Incompetech.com, obviously.
Yeah. I envision myself right now in an alternate universe with a full head of hair. Obviously combed way over.
Right.
Shining from all of the hair gel in there and the spray, with a leather jacket with the, the collar turned up, and my old lady by my side.
Mm-hmm. Your best gal.
Hey, Toots. What do you say about a chocolate malt? Maybe a trip up to Makeout Point.
So that's our first submission by me.
I think that's a winner.
For our new theme song. I was going through, because I had a little time to kill today.
Yeah, oh boy.
Because somebody from the big program was a little bit late. You know, normally, I mean, it is set in stone. We do this thing at 6 o'clock every Tuesday.
Yeah. What?
Here it is, 7:14. We're finally getting started. So I had a little bit of time, downloaded that, and I found this great website with all this Creative Commons royalty-free music. Don't have to pay anyone. All we have to do is thank them. I just have to put a little. I have to put
right
a little
the blurb.
thank you. Yeah.
And if you think about it, compared to what we went through last week, where we literally couldn't get music to sync from your Apple computer to your Apple iPad, as they were like inches apart.
Yeah.
And then it changed to, wait a minute, why am I doing this wirelessly? I have every cable known to man within
I had a wire like laying in between them. And I'm like, oh, well, no, I mean, I couldn't be bothered to connect those two ends.
There was absolutely a conversation as well of, I don't know why this thing won't sync well.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
I mean, if only there was another option.
Right. But no, it is. I'm sorry. Did you get the date and time stamp in before we get officially...
no, but you are listening to the Steve and Kyle podcast. It's Tuesday, October 4th, 2016. Man, the year of our Lord, of course.
Obviously.
God, it's ridiculous that it's October already.
I know it. I've been waiting for it. We'll get into it, I'm sure, at some point in the next 4 weeks of shows here. But
this is your time, isn't it?
I love it. I live for this.
Yeah.
This is, and when people ask, I'll get, like I said, much more detail as we go on through the month. We have a lot to get through today, but haunted house season and Halloween season is my roller coaster. So the way people look at Six Flags, Cedar Point, whatever it may be, that is my equivalent right now. It's the only way I can put it. The adrenaline rush, the excitement of waiting in the line, everything, and the scenery. So I love that. But yeah, we're a little late tonight, Steve. So if I mentioned when I walked in, I go, oh, there's people just hitting refresh right now.
Yeah.
Just waiting for the show to be uploaded,
Yeah, they're there on iTunes.
Yeah.
On Stitcher, where we're available also. I'm still working through I tried the Google Play thing earlier.
Did you get the same thing?
Yeah, I got the same thing, but
Baffling,
I have a note in to the tech nerds that are going to get it all figured out for me.
All right, listen here, Google Play. If we have to tough talk you and beat you down a little bit, I know you don't want your charts messed with for your podcast.
Yeah.
But it's time to let the new big dog into the house,
Yeah, we'd hate to go exclusive with iTunes or Stitcher.
Listen, if we have to be
not above
endorsed
us, though.
by one of those two alone, I'll do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I'd sell out for anything now, and let me tell you why, Steve. So I'm a guy I'm a relatively new homeowner, and
2 years or so, year and a half.
it's a little over 2 years, and I am in no way, shape, or form a do-it-yourselfer. I am horrendous. I don't know much. That's what I think it's rooted in a lot. I just don't know a lot about how the things work, whatever.
Don't know, so you don't try.
Well, a lot of times I will. I'll try to get ambitious.
Yeah.
But, luckily we haven't had many issues at this house. We've been really fortunate with it. So, Sunday, I usually don't run the house very warm. I keep it cold even in the winter. I don't know why. I'm cold-blooded. In the winter, very comfortable. Hate the heat. Cannot stand it. I have found the perfect temp. I can't sleep in my house if it's more than 73. I don't know how. I'll just turn down the air a little bit, save a few bucks, and then there I am in the middle of the night just...
Good God, this cough will not go away.
Oh, no. Oh, you've got the Kyle.
I've had it for a week.
That's only
It's gone away, too. Yesterday I felt great, and then I woke up in the middle at like 2 in the morning. I woke up
Really?
just with the most violent coughing fit. Oh. And my throat's been sore all day. But anyway, I apologize for interrupting, but I will be doing that quite a bit more tonight.
Have you ever, I doubt you've had it yet, if you're under a week right now, have you coughed until you have dry heaved?
I've done that before, not this time.
Worst. I don't know if there's anything worse.
Oh, yeah. Well, dry heaving in general is
it's just
worst
awful.
Because you're just, like you run to you think you're going to throw up, so you run to the toilet, and then you just end up screaming into the toilet bowl because nothing's coming out. So you're just like,
there's no relief. It's like...
I shouldn't have done that.
There's no relief at all. It's but it's the equivalent of 10 ab workouts at the gym because you're sitting there and everything's you're like shaking. You're like, anytime now, I'm going to cough out this. It's going to be like an animal that's making me cough.
And finally, you'll get that the satisfaction. There it is. That's what was doing it.
Yeah.
I'm on the road to recovery now.
Oh God, yeah,
not so much.
It's the dream. But so anyway, so I noticed something was up. I'll have a friend over, and it's like I said, the house is pretty steady at 73 degrees. And so I kicked the air on, which is not normal for this area for this time of year, but I'm lazy. So when I'm hot, I turn it on. So instead of opening, 3-4 windows in the slider, oh my God, that switch is right next to the
I need
chair.
that AC running in December.
Yeah. Well, that's you'll see it. So I noticed the air's running, and it's still 76 in the house. And I thought, boy, it's not the way they draw up air conditioners.
No.
I hear it running, so I go put my foot over the vent and the register, and it's cold-ish. It's like if you're in your car and you run the vent air, but without the AC on. Mm-hmm. So it's like, that's okay. It's like
cool.
Yeah, it's lukewarm-ish air blowing at your face. So I knew something was a little wrong. Replaced the filter and everything. I eventually just turned it off. And part of the reason, it is laziness, but you've met our dog, Steve. And if I have like the front door open, which I'll have a screen on, those two little jerks will sit there and just wait for, doesn't matter, a noise. Not a noise, but they think it's a noise.
A leaf.
Yeah. And then it's like a madhouse.
Yeah.
It's like, I got to get it. So I'll leave that closed. So I was a little late today. Had to call in the backup.
On the bright side, they're probably not very busy.
No, right? Yeah.
The AC repair. Although I guess they do heating and cooling too.
Yeah. So. But I've got a coworker telling me, why are you worried about it? Just get it in April. I go, yeah, I'll get it in April when 8 million people are like, oh my God, my air conditioner's broke. Right. I got to get a new one.
Yeah.
So the guy comes out, and in my mind, I don't just sit around pricing around air conditioning. I have no idea what to expect. So he looks at it, and Well, it turns out this is from 1996.
Oh.
So it's probably a little overworked and a little...
96.
Slightly less than eco-friendly, right?
Oh, yeah. It's running at like 4% efficiency.
Yeah, so, and I'm not...
Plumes of smoke coming out of it as it's running. Looks like a diesel truck.
Yeah, I'll just put it in third gear. It'll be fine. Nothing could go wrong.
No problem.
The way most people are with auto mechanics, apparently I am with HVAC people, because they said, the very nice guy looks at me and goes, yeah, it's your refrigeration, manipulation, mastication, it's the level's low. So I'm going to slip a new cap in here and put on the levels and boop, 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 meters. I go, man, you got it. Yeah, I understood that.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
that's what I was telling the old lady.
Yeah, I was like, hey, broad, it's the refrigeration manipulation levels, all right? It'll be fine, okay? Just cool it. So he puts on whatever new thing on the side, and he tests it, and see that number that's supposed to be 8, and I'm at 40. I don't know what that means.
That's good.
What's the scale? Like, am I 5 times better than most air conditioners who are 20 years old? Am I 5 times worse? Am I 8 divided by 40 of where I'm supposed to be?
Yeah, he may as well have said, like, on a scale from 14 to pizza, you're an antelope. Good.
That meant nothing to me. Like, he might as well have spelled out the conversion rate from Fahrenheit to Celsius for me. Sure. And yeah, that sounds accurate about what you just showed me, sir. So I said, well, what would you think? What would you recommend? He said, well, keep the flippy doopy dop cap on it and all this, and that'll hold you over for now. And but yeah, you're probably gonna want a new system. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah, of course.
What do you got?
Oh, so you started wheeling and dealing?
Well, I was just asking him. I'm like I said, curious. Give me a number, right?
I would say, okay, my uneducated guess. Well, I actually somewhat educated because I had to put AC. I had to put an AC unit in my house.
Your old house?
Yeah. And it was a 1-ton unit or 1.5-ton unit. Mm-hmm. That's how they measure the size of them.
Something called Sears as well?
Oh, yeah, the SEER. The SEER is, I think that's the efficiency.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. Yeah. Well, there's new mandates for that stuff now, too.
I think mine was like a 13 SEER.
That's the new federal
minimum.
Yeah, that's like the baseline where you have to be.
Yeah. But I think that mine was like, God, because I had to do furnace and AC.
Yeah.
All in one shot, and it was like $4,500. And I'm pretty sure that it was somewhat evenly split.
Was it?
Yeah.
Luckily, my furnace is almost under 3 years. Like, it's really new. The new AC quoted me at $2,600.
Yeah.
Man, I had no idea. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. It's a little box. It's got fan blades in it, and maybe I could just stack up 8 box fans.
Yeah.
Tape them.
And then just keep a cooler of ice so it draws in the cold air.
Listen, bars do it with kegs. I can do it with my air conditioner.
Yeah. You got this.
So I thought, all right, thanks for that little tidbit of info. I'll get back to you when I find $2,600 in the next 48 hours. Let me double down on pain today, Steve. That's right. My cable bill came in at it's like I don't check it that often. I have it on auto pay, whatever. So I look at it because it comes in the email. And I see it's at like $190.
Jeez.
And it's just for cable and internet, right?
$190.
Insane. And to be fair, I have a few add-ons. We like HBO, and I have what allows me to watch NFL Red Zone every week. I thought that's kind of silly.
Did some introductory offer run out or something?
Maybe, so I don't know. So,
well, I mean, those are always so reasonable. It's the first 6 months at $39.99, and then that 7th month is $814.
But it'll average out this thing. The savings at the start.
And for that extra money, don't worry, you get nothing extra.
No,
you get exactly what you had the previous 6 months. Maybe less.
I think my personal hell is cable people and talking to them. And to this guy's credit, he was absolutely amazing. He was really nice, helpful. So he finds me this. First of all, they all try it still, which is fascinating to me that this is still a push. He actually tells me, says, "Oh, this is going to be the best package for you right here. Here's what I got." And he lays it all out, and it's got the frickin' landline in it. And I say, "Sir, no offense. I can't think of one thing I want or need less in this house than a phone jack or a modem with a phone jack. Useless. Beyond you. I'm not interested. I don't need it. You know, I get it that your price is going to be a few bucks cheaper than without because you're begging people to put that garbage in their houses.
I don't understand that.
I don't either.
How that works, that I'm getting more but paying less.
I know.
Why don't you just... You know something? If you want to sign me up for the phone, go ahead. Sign me up for the phone. You can even give me a phone number. Mm-hmm. But don't send me anything that I have to hook up and confirm with you.
So that's what he had told me. He's like, well, I have my own modem because it's cheaper. Instead of paying the $10, $15 rental fee, I have my own modem. So, well, I don't think it looks like your modem doesn't have a phone jack on it. So you're going to have to get the modem from us with a phone jack for $10. And in my mind, I'm thinking, all right, so I'm already at the price now of the package without a stupid phone. And I'm going to have to pay whatever the 911 fee for $3-4 a month, whatever other phone fees I'm going to pay. I'm paying more to have this worthless empty phone jack hooked into my modem.
Yeah.
What a waste, right? Oh. So, no, I don't think I can do this. So I get, whatever. Long story somewhat short, he gives me a couple different cable packages, and both times I kind of scoff because, well, I can get you this one for $129. Well, then we're going to have this for $5, and then you're going to, so you get another outlet that's going to be $10 for that, and then, there you're at, and 2-year contract. I'm like, we're doing all this work, I'm saving $11, and I'm locked in for 2 years. That's awful. Like, I'm calling to save more than that. I said, you know what? I think I'm just going to call around, price a couple people out. Well, let me...
Hold on a second there, cowboy.
Why don't you give me 1 second there, fast fingers?
For a valued customer like you, I'm able to open up this new window here. And look at that. Look at the deal that we have right now.
So I'm having this conversation on speakerphone, and I literally text you and say, 25 minutes.
Okay.
Be there in 25, right? And at this point... I've got to take a quick shower because I had to mow the lawn. Today's been fun. Day of non-responsibility. I just played video games.
It's such an adult day.
It's awful. Oh, mow the lawn. Go pick up your dogs from dog daycare. Mow the lawn. Wait for the AC repair guy and talk to cable. It just feels so fruitless, right?
Not everybody can lead the glamorous life that you do.
Yeah, I tell you what. Come by, say I'll sign autographs. I'm going to write an autobiography. My standard Tuesday, mowed the lawn. So I text you, and that was after time number 2. I told him, "Hey man, I think I'm just going to wait. I'm paying too much now." And at this point in my mind, I'm going to look up DirecTV, whatever it takes, And he pulls it the 3rd time. Goes, well, seems like you would prefer to keep the HBO and this and that and yada yada. And I just clicked hang up.
So I'm surprised you gave him that long.
Well, and like I said, the guy was really nice. He's like, yeah, actually, you don't need the phone jack, and this is going to save you a few bucks, and it's going to double your internet speed. This is a lot better for you.
No one needs the phone jack.
There's not a soul on this planet, not even in above 50. My parents, who are the most old-fashioned people I know, right? Like they still have a landline, but they have now, apparently for people above older than 50, I think it's like a process. So it's going to be like a 9-month weaning process. I'm like, all right, everybody, start using my cell phone. Mm-hmm. And then it's slowly going to dwindle until that thing's never going to ring anymore. Up until 2 years ago, this is no joke, Steve, they had a little box that sat by their phone for caller ID.
Oh, wow.
That's no joke. It wasn't even on the phone. It was literally a tiny, Ameritech that you would scroll up and down and be like, oh, I don't want to talk to that guy.
Was it do they still have a rotary dial phone?
No,
or
thank God.
A pulse dial?
No. It's just fascinating because, you're talking about my father who hunts and pecks, and now he has a Samsung smartphone where any phone call to our home landline rings to his phone, and he loves it. Yeah. I said that would seem like the biggest nuisance imaginable to me. And
if you get calls at all to the home phone,
sure, which they still get a few. It's amazing to me though.
Yeah,
it just seems so useless. So all in all, I wasted more than an hour waiting for the AC repair guy 20 minutes while he told me your savings are going to be depleted, and then another 30 on the phone with Comcast to find out there's nothing they can do. It's been a good day.
I have zero patience for that stuff, and I always feel bad too because I would say not 9 times out, maybe 7 times out of 10, the person that you get is really nice and they really want to help, and I feel like they're probably very good at their job, but I still just have zero patience. I was at I had to go to have you ever been to the store Harbor Freight?
Oh gosh, yeah.
So I had to go to Harbor Freight today because I had bought something there a couple months ago. I bought a tool there and it broke. So all in their store up on the walls, hand tools, all hand tools, lifetime warranty.
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool, no problem. Take it over there. Lines are long. Everyone there is just dealing with it though, and I'm like, whatever, sucks, but I'll stand here in this long line.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to drive all the way back just because I don't want to wait 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I get to the front of the line, and I hate being the one at the front of the line that has something other than standard purchase, scan my card, out the door, because I know that the people behind me are just as pissed as I was when I was standing there.
Sure.
So I said, hey, man, how are you? I bought this a couple months ago, and it broke. And I had the tool and the pieces that fell off of it.
It's in multiple pieces. Yeah. It's not like, well, it's internally, it doesn't, whatever. It's here's one, here's two.
He says, do you have your receipt? Nope, I don't have my receipt. He said, no problem. We'll just look it up by your phone number. Give him my phone number. He types it in there. He's like, it's not showing up. How long did you buy this? I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. He's like, it's probably the problem. It's not showing up because it's not in the last 90 days. I was like, so I'm figuring, okay, their system, for whatever reason, it only shows the last 90 days. Well, it's a 90-day warranty is up on it, so I can't exchange it for you. And I point to the banner hanging on the wall that says lifetime warranty on all of our hand tools. I'm like, but that there says lifetime warranty. He said, yeah, but unless it says it on this specific packaging for the tool, then it's not. Then it's only a 90-day warranty. I'm like, okay, but that sign there says all hand tools. So I think that a sign that says all hand tools kind of is all-encompassing.
It's going to override your small square that you should look for on the packaging,
So, okay, well, let me call Justin over. I'm like, please do that. Call Justin over.
Let's bring the whole crew.
So Justin comes over. Oh, yeah. And he takes the thing, then he walks to the back of the store to find the item on the shelf. And he brings it back up and he says, yep, sir, unless it has the sticker on this box, it's only a 90-day warranty. I said, okay. But the sign on the wall says lifetime warranty on all hand tools.
What an adventure.
And I said, excuse me. So I thought, okay, maybe this isn't classified as a hand tool because, if it had been a drill or a jackhammer, that's not considered a hand tool.
Right.
That's a power tool.
Correct.
Is this not a hand tool? No, it's a hand tool. Well, okay then. I guess we're just at this impasse.
Yeah.
And then he said kind of condescendingly, he said, well, I'm going to exchange this for you just this one time.
Oh, I hate that.
And I looked at him and I'm biting my lip and I'm like, lifetime warranty.
All hand tools.
Yeah.
That is,
So this whole thing took 15 minutes.
Right.
And then I finally, I realized as I was walking out, I'm like, crap, I had actually forgotten to get one other thing. So I go to the back of the store, grab the $3 item I need, and then I stood in line for another 15 minutes just in my rage. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving because I'll have to come back, and I don't want to come back.
It's that fake. It's not. I can't think of the word right now. I'm not sympathetic, but you're right. Condescending is probably the best word to describe it. You know what?
And then I left, and I guarantee that they sat there and said, "You believe that guy?
Yeah. He doesn't even get the policy."
And the thing is, I remained calm and polite but firm. I'm like, I wasn't giving up my ground, but I'm like, why? What is the issue that we're having here?
Yeah.
Why are we having this issue? You have that sign.
Right.
That sign says all.
There's not even an asterisk next to it, darn it. I've worked in customer service before, and to a degree, I get the ample frustration some of those people go through.
Yeah.
But man, it's just so much easier as after a while, you're like, why am I fighting Harbor Freight's fight?
Yeah.
Why am I fighting this large company's battle on literally the smallest battlefield ever?
Sure.
This is like the equivalent of a civil war, but two people quibbling over a farmland. It just does not matter.
Yeah. Over a $17 tool.
Yeah, and yet they're going to fight that, this is the line in the sand, you shall not cross. I worked at a grocery store. I don't care if you have 1, 2, 6, or 35 coupons. Have it for free. It's a box of pancake mix.
Yeah.
Get it out of my face.
Yeah.
Move along.
I don't care how much you pay for it.
No. Oh, my check's still coming in the mail. They're still going to have millions in revenue throughout the first quarter.
Yeah.
They're going to be okay, and I'm going to be okay too.
Oh, so maddening.
Oh,
it's so maddening.
I think I don't know why. I think it's because they have a bad rap that cable companies and stuff. It's the big, it might as well play taps when you're dialing the number. Yeah. Yep, enjoy your evening. It's going away real quick.
You're going to be here a while.
Yeah, so that is, so that was my adult day and why we're recording a little late, which I know puts everybody out. So
a little bit. I mean,
but you know what though?
Normally the podcast is published by this time.
It is. I know. Like I said, there's people clicking refresh. It's days like this, though.
You owe everybody an apology.
I know I do. Listen, if you ask for an apology on Twitter at kpath3587, I swear I will apologize profoundly to you for making you wait. That is unacceptable on my part. It's days like this, though, and I did realize this while I'm outside getting, served my papers about the air conditioning unit that make me look forward.
Your paper.
It might as well have been got some more bad news.
Yeah.
And then slapping your hand. What?
2,600.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That make me appreciate days coming up like I know this Thursday is going to be.
Ah, yes.
Oh.
That's our second week. Our second week of...
Second week on Kyle's rise to the championship, I believe, is
true.
what you mean to say before you say it, Steve.
Now, what we're referring to is, you may remember last week we talked about our big bowling outing. It's an event for the radio station, and it's every Thursday. Now, we're not doing everything. We're doing basically every other Thursday, but it just happens to be 2 in a row this time. So we showed up on Thursday night to Fairlanes in Granville, and we bowled with the best of them. Bowled 3 games. I was
news to me.
Yeah.
Did
you
not expect 3.
Yeah, what were you
expected
thinking?
2.
Okay.
I don't know why, and I'm sure 3 is normal. You're talking to a guy who's bowled once every 16 to 20 months on average for the past 8 years. I enjoy it, but I spend about 36 hours of my forearm hurting, being sore afterwards.
Yeah. Man, mine actually surprisingly didn't hurt at all.
I wasn't as bad this time as in years past, but now when I press on it like that, it's still...
Is it really?
5 days, it's still tender. A little tender, yeah.
So we got there last Friday, or last Thursday, and
I was excited too.
Yeah, me too. I was really excited. It had been probably 6 months since I had bowled, because we did a winter, or we did the league, but it ended in January or something. So it had been a little while since I bowled, so I got there and get my shoes, put my shoes on, go pick out my ball, because I'm not a professional. I don't bring my own. And then you guys all got there because Annette showed up, and then you and Katie showed up.
And do I have an issue with that I just remembered?
No. With who?
Listen, I told you I haven't been bowling in a long time, Steve, and I told you that when I was there. So when I walk in, I say, check in. You told me how to check in.
Yeah.
And guy asks what size shoes I wear, and I tell him. Well, in every other time I bowled, they take a shoe.
Yeah.
And it's collateral.
Yeah.
So you bring their shoes back.
So you don't steal their sweet shoes.
this guy, right? Probably 22, something like that. Said, do you need a shoe of mine? No. We're not shoe thieves. Like, what? I'm not accused. Like, how is that even running through your mind? Like, I get that you're not even a different generation. That's not the right term. But you're from a different era, apparently. But listen, kid, back in my day, when I bowled, you took a damn shoe and you parked it in the slot where my bowling shoe that I bought is going to go, and you don't give me any guff about it. Okay?
You take good care of that shoe.
Right.
Because I'm coming back for it at the end of my game.
And if it's in the wrong slot, then we're going to have words. That's when we're going to have words.
And everything's messed up.
So that's what I was greeted by. Mm. That one, that irked me from the start.
But the night only got better.
Oh, man.
So I got there first. Annette showed up. You guys got there. And we sat down at our lane. I don't think, did any of us bowl a practice ball, or did we just go straight into it?
They allowed practice balls.
Yeah.
Is that? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. Well, I guess we didn't then.
Tidbit for next time, I guess.
So we start bowling, and one of the guys that we were, because it was our team of 4 versus another team of 4, and one of the guys I noticed right off the bat, I'm like, all right, this guy seemed nice enough, very, very pleasant guy.
Yeah.
But he was bouncing around the whole time. Like he just seemed really excited. Now I had an interaction with him when I first walked in the door. I swing the door open, and there's a guy coming out of I think there's an arcade right inside the door. So, and I almost kind of we kind of almost walked into each other, and I said, "Oh, excuse me, sorry about that," and just made small talk. I was like, "Oh, how's it going, man?" He's like, "Oh, what did he say? I'm a little stir crazy," and I'm like, "Okay, that's weird." Because during that interaction, I just expect that. Oh, hey man, how are you? That's the small talk norm.
Well,
that's the social, social
standard.
norm. I'm a little stir crazy. Why? What's going on? I just got a new ball. Haven't used it yet.
That's so fascinating. So,
I don't. Okay. All right, cool. I'll see you later.
We referenced that. We talked about this a little bit. In my mind, and don't get me, I'm not, Mr. Hoity-toity, no more than everybody else. Stir crazy, by definition, is like you're cooped up in a small space for too long, right?
Yeah, like cabin fever.
So was he just doing laps in the bathroom with the bowling ball?
I don't know. So I thought, surely enough, that would be my only interaction with this person that night. Mm-hmm. Well, it turns out he's the one that was on the team that we were playing.
The lane mate.
The lane mate, yeah. And he was a nice enough guy. He just seemed like he had a ton of energy because he's bouncing around the whole time, clapping his hands and yelling and screaming and cheering whenever his bowling teammates were up there bowling the ball.
Well, he was like Mr. Bowling.
He was.
Had the wrist guard on and everything. Yeah. And you mentioned ball. The new ball that he brought.
Oh, yeah. And he did that thing where you put the ball in that little pouch or whatever it is.
Yeah. Got to get that oil all good. Yeah.
So he was Mr. Bowling. And he was really excited. And he kept talking to us and talking back to him. And nice guy. Mm-hmm. And then what was the first odd thing? He... seemed like his social norms were a little askew because I went up one time and I bowled, and it wasn't. I think I knocked down like either the 7 or the 10 pin, basically a gutter ball.
Right, you got the corner.
Yeah, and I turn around and he's pointing at me and laughing right in my face.
Right. I didn't know he did that to you. I saw him do that to his friends.
Yeah. 3 or 4 times where all of a sudden just burst into laughter after a bad bowling shot. Bowling shot, is that a term? Is that how you... Bowling throw? Bowling throw? After a bad ball. Bad ball. Bad launch. We'll edit out that previous part so I sound like I know what So, let me step back a second then. Yeah, I saw him doing that a few times after his teammates would throw a bad ball. And he would stand about 2 feet from their face, and just
hands on knees, and then would lift a hand up and point. And then that transition, he did that to me a few times.
Now, you know how when you go to bowl, you get the ball out of the ball return, and then there's every bowling alley has like that one little step up.
Yeah.
When you're about to bowl. Well, that's like, I mean, most people start right back there.
Yeah, walk up.
He would stand immediately in back of that.
Yes.
So if you were standing like with your heels touching that step, his toes were touching the step. So you were like this close to giving him a piggyback ride.
It got to the point, I believe you and I were both throwing at the same time. I think you were up there with me when I turned around and said, "Hey, man, just take a few steps back."
Little personal space here.
Like, there's not ask. I don't mind people coming up and being close. I'm very close with, or very okay with, people being close. But this was abnormally close.
Yeah.
Like, uncomfortable. So I said it jokingly. He took it apparently very jokingly because nothing changed at all.
In fact, I think you ended up bowling like a gutter ball or something, and he laughed in your face.
Yeah, that was how it went. And this is the guy who, like you said, he was pacing. They've got the upstairs area where, you get your food and your drink and everything and your personal belongings. And then the main area where they've got the scoring machines and 2 seats and the ball return. And he would pace. And if we tried to take 30 seconds or a minute sitting upstairs and just chatting amongst ourselves, there'd be like eyes on you and a hand and then and like immediate, like get up there, it's your turn, you need to go now.
Yeah, there were a few times where, Steve, you're up. Steve, you're up.
Oh,
Steve,
it
you're
was
up.
so bad. It got to the point where I went up. Another amazing thing to me that happened. I went up 3 times to order a pitcher of beer. 3 times, because I would there's a line, and anytime I would advance, it'd be like, oh, look at that, my turn. And I would have to like rush down so I didn't get addressed by Captain Bowling. I'm like, hey, you stop wasting my time. So at the end of the night, you ended up telling me because of this, that was the quickest you'd ever bowled there.
Yeah, easily.
And we beat everybody by about 5 frames.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a terrible bowler.
Yeah, we finished our 3rd game, and there were people on either side of us who were still in the 2nd frame of their 3rd game.
Unbelievable the way that advanced, and it was because of Captain Bowling, kind of putting the pressure on.
And again, I feel like the guy meant well.
Oh, absolutely.
And he was a very nice guy, but at one point, he was just all bouncing around, and he's like, "Oh man," I think he had just bowled a strike or something, so he's all jittery. And he came up, he's like, "Oh man, if you think I'm crazy now, you should see me on Saturdays." And in the context that he said it, I thought that I assumed that he meant that he was in a Saturday bowling league.
That's what I think.
So I said to him, "Oh, do you bowl here on Saturdays too?" And he said, "No." And then he got kind of quiet, and he kind of put his head down, and then he walked over and sat down at our table.
Oh, this is when I walked up then. Towards the end of our frame.
And I was like, "You all right, man?" He's like, "Yeah. Those people who sometimes wear like ears and tails and dress up like animals?" And I looked at him and I seriously said, "Are you a furry?" And he said, "Yeah. That's what I'm doing on Saturday. Like, that's what I do on Saturday nights."
So many questions.
So I was like, "Cool, man. Cool. Hey, we all got our things, you know? I'm into anything but that."
Right? Like, I don't know, throw something at the wall. Probably would enjoy that more than whatever it is you're talking about.
I like cutting the grass. Right. And he's like, "Yeah, man, I just, it's great because it just doesn't matter. I can just do whatever I want." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I mean, I respect that. That's, if you don't care, like if you're going to do something like that, which I don't want to say it's not socially acceptable, but it's not the norm.
We'll call it socially adjacent.
We'll say it's on the fringe. Very much on the fringe.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would argue that that's one of the least respectable sects of society ever. I think it's what you're getting at, right? Like, is that what we're... That's what
is that what I'm
is
getting
that
at?
what we're that's
Yeah,
what we're
yeah.
like we're saying, right?
That's weird. I mean, I thought that you said it, but I guess you could.
I mean, that's what we're both saying without saying, but we're saying it, right? One of those.
So then it got weirder, even weirder, because he said, been abused all my life by many people.
Oh, God.
So that's when I just get to be me.
Oh, man. Oh, that's too much. It's Thursday bowling, man.
Yeah. Talk about, like, the football game.
Yeah, I mean...
Talk about work. Talk about the old lady getting you down.
Yeah, and he's already talking to Buzzkill Steve over here, who can't drink, can't eat anything.
I know.
Is staring at this pizza that we want, that we're eating.
I've raved about that pizza to so many people because it's the best bowling alley pizza I've ever had in my life. And I get there. I'm the first one there, and the waitress comes right up to me. This is before anyone else is there.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, what can I get you?" I was like, and just out of like instinctually, I'm
right?
like, pepperoni pizza and.
Oh, you can bring it, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, 4 plates? No, just 3.
And then, so we have 2 pitchers of beer. Can't have that either.
Oh, you guys had a good old time.
You got a pitcher of water, though.
I did. I drank. Oh, man. Boy, did I drink that water.
So Captain Bowling picks Buzzkill Steve to tell life's sad story to...
Oh, my God.
That's when I walked up, too, so I didn't hear that immediately. You made him repeat it.
Yeah, because you walked up and I said, "Hey, tell Kyle what you just told me." I'm up.
And
I gotta run up and bowl.
And I heard it. As soon as you said that, I go, "Oh, no. Like, this isn't going to be like, I won the Nobel Prize.
Yeah.
Or I've got my master's in this." Like, no, let's head somewhere not on the normal plane. You know? And I'm not going to describe the guy. All I'll say is that I think even... listener Nikki's mom could envision what this guy looks like, and she...
Jeez, man.
Just saying. Fits the norm.
You're going to have to send her bobbleheads now.
I'm just saying, like, not a stereotype, because I didn't say that word until just now.
Right.
But, stereotype adjacent. Nice guy. I mean, it got to the point where... I mean, like I said, this guy's... It felt like he drank like 3 5-hour energies, right?
Yeah.
So he's just fast-paced walking. Anytime he's coming up or down the steps, he's not seeing you. He's seeing the bowling ball return, and he's getting their fastest route no matter what.
He almost ran over...
Katie almost got mowed down once or twice. Like, if I told her when she sat down after almost getting knocked down, that... if he was a guy who walked with elbows type of thing, even remotely, she's going down and she's probably, having some damage to her nose at that point.
Yeah, and he'll probably laugh right in her face.
Yeah, right. Like, you fell. Oh, man. Yeah, that was very interesting.
That was
and
something.
Another thing that happened that I need, if you're listening to this, I apologize. Somebody, a very nice gentleman, came up to me when I was getting food or my shoes and said, "Hey, Kyle, how's it going, man?" And I said, "It's going good. Thanks for asking. How are you?" And I don't know who you are.
Oh.
You were kind. If you would do me such a favor, if you happen to be listening when we're at bowling, please come up and introduce yourself. And
because that happened right when we first got there.
Yeah.
And then, did you look up his name? Because they have all the sheets. They give you the sheets with all the scores from the previous week and your standings and everything.
I flipped through the paperwork briefly. Hard to decipher between the people who just listed their name as things like Balls McGunderson and, all things like that. Like, okay, well, 40 of these are legitimate.
Yeah.
And,
here's Gutterball Gus.
Yeah, and if it's somebody, if you just happen to remember me or know me from my time with the radio show, that's great too. I feel terrible. Well, I always hate that.
The only reasonable explanation is that he's big fan of the podcast.
That can't be true, Steve. We made it very clear last time on the show, on the podcast here, to say, if you don't sing the theme song when you come up and say hi, you're not getting addressed.
Yeah. It's weird. I mean, not many people do.
Not many this week. Maybe this week.
Yeah, I mean, this will probably be the week. So
this week,
this
if you are
Thursday,
in West Michigan.
Thursday, October 6th at 6:15, 6:30.
Yeah.
Fairlanes in Granville, Michigan. You'll see some exciting bowling action.
Come out, have a drink, watch us bowl if you're not signed up.
Yeah, I'll watch.
Hang out.
I'll watch you have a drink. You can watch me bowl.
Yeah, that'll be fun. But please come say hi if you happen to listen. That'd be great. That was I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
I
me
really
too.
did. And it got to the point I think I looked at you and said, like, I want to do a golf league next year. But my fear is those people are a little too uptight.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you mentioned that because that picture that you posted on Facebook or that popped up, what was it, like a on this day feature?
Yeah.
Or Time Hopper, whatever it was. And I had I posted that originally, or did you post?
You posted it, and then actually I got another one, I think the following day, and it was the scorecard. And the scorecard was where I did not score a number of strokes on the 18th hole, Steve.
Yeah, that's right. I still have that scorecard.
Do you really?
Yeah, on the refrigerator.
Oh, that's a pretty good story. I've
we played. Did we play 18?
That's the problem.
Yeah.
I've been golfing since I was 16, and I remember that because they wouldn't let me rent a golf cart. Mm-hmm. So when I was young and somewhat not overweight with a beer gut, I would walk. And I love golf. I'll preface it by saying that I love the idea of golf.
Yeah.
But 9 holes is it for me. Even in a cart. I'll usually have a few beers. Mm-hmm. But if you're asking me to play 18, I'm on hole 13, 14. I don't even want to get out of the cart anymore. I'm not interested. And I don't know if it's an attention span thing, whatever. But you had won or received a voucher for 18
it was like a silent auction or something.
Yeah. And so you said, hey, we got to use this by year's end. So it was the end of the year. I mean, right now we're lucky we could still go golf in the next probably the next 2 weeks, and we'll be fine. But when we went, it was probably towards the end, right? And I guess I didn't remember or realize until we got there that it was for 18 holes. So
I mean, it's free, so
no arguments here.
Yeah.
So I remember I had a few beers, and we hit that back 9, and boy, did it take a turn.
Yeah, played real strong on the front 9. Well,
there was
I won't say real strong.
Yeah, played the way
I
play.
We played the front 9.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you got that picture at the perfect time. I don't even remember what hole it was, and it was up to my thigh, grass and weeds. But I remember that specifically because I looked at you and said, nope, F it, I'm playing it. It's a playable ball.
Yeah.
So I took the biggest whack at that thing I think you can do in that condition. And you snapped that cell phone picture at the perfect time.
Perfect timing.
Of blades of grass and weeds just floating majestic. Yeah. No ball is in the shot. Yeah, I'm assuming because its flight path had already exited.
It's probably in the hole by now.
Right? Like, I'm probably looking at, like, already wondering, like, where is it on the green? How long is my putt going to be? Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I mean, there's just grass floating now up to my neck because it had flown so high off of the club face. Yep. And I believe that was the official descent of that flight. Like, it was, last 3 holes took a turn to the point where when we finished, I think it was hole 18, I refused to even give a score.
Yeah, you actually, your score on the 18th hole was a penis.
Well, when you say it like that, Steve, it feels like you don't understand the representation that I meant to convey when I drew that. And it was a lot of anger, a lot of pent-up frustration from 17 early issues. So, yeah, I shot 102 and a cartoonish-looking penis.
Which I thought was perfect. I thought it was so great. Perfect that I still have the scorecard on the refrigerator.
And my problem is I don't golf enough. Mm-hmm. But like I said,
are we going to go? We should play.
We need to go. What are you doing right now?
Doing a podcast right now. It's a little dark out. Don't think I could do it now. Can't do it tomorrow. I could do Friday.
Friday's no good for me.
What do you mean Friday's no good for you?
Here's what I got Friday, Steve. I'm reliving my youth. I'm going to a high school football game. That's a joke.
If it's
I got a buddy coming in town.
The only way that's respectable is if you're going to Texas.
Oh, yeah, and Coach Taylor's coaching the team.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be Pennsylvania now.
Yeah, it's true. That's
Thursday, Thursday we bowl. For crying out loud.
I mean,
I'm free on the weekend.
We could just do like a duathlon, and we'll do golf in the afternoon and then bowling at night.
Right. You're gone.
And then do some kind of shooting event or something.
All right, we're 30% of the way done. Now we just got to do the easy ones like the marathon and the downhill slalom.
Or that one where you ski and then shoot.
Right? How long until we get like the duo decathlon with modern sport? Like trying to keep up with the time. So it's all right, sling your rifle on your back, jump on your skateboard, and hit the hit the half pipe. Yeah, hit the half pipe.
Yeah.
That's got to be around the corner, right?
Yeah.
Now, are you on the road this weekend then?
I'm not. What are you doing on Saturday?
Well, you're looking at a guy who's free Saturday.
Well, we can't golf because I have something going on.
All right.
Every year, this weekend is Pulaski Days here.
Oh, that's right.
In Grand Rapids, which is I had never heard of it before I moved here.
I've never been.
It's just a big
drink fest.
Polish thing. Mm-hmm. Well, yours truly is bartending every year for the last 4 or 5 years. Some friends of mine are members at Diamond Hall on Michigan in Grand Rapids, the corner of Michigan and Diamond Hall, and it's a Polish hall. So every year during Pulaski Days, this is this is
the hangout.
Yeah, this is like their birthday, Christmas, and New Year's all rolled into one.
Yeah.
So it's just a massive drunk fest. That's crazy. So I will be bartending for 8 hours that day.
You're putting in a work day?
I'm putting in a volunteer work day.
Don't you usually do like the celebrity cameo, 12 to 2?
I wish.
I always thought it was only a few hours you would do that.
Well, it started out, I think the first year I did 3 hours, then 4 hours. And then they got in touch with me. My friend Melissa got in touch with me. She sent me a text a month ago. Hey, Pulaski Days is coming up. Can you bartend? I'm like, yeah, of course. I love doing it. It's a lot of fun. She's like, okay, well, when do you want to do it? I was like, put me down for 12 to 8.
Oh,
and
you
then
monster.
She's like, really? Yeah, of course. I love it. And then I immediately regretted it, but I can't go back on it. I mean, they need people.
By the end of the night, you're going to be using lingo like, "Hey, Herbie, you're cut."
Yeah,
let me give you your share of the tips.
Yeah, 86 the Stoli vodka.
Hey, need new well set up ASAP. Bartender Steve just taking a hard-nosed line.
So commit to it right now that you're coming to Diamond Hall this
You're
Saturday.
12 to 8, right?
12 to 8.
12 to 8. I can get there early because it's my old man's birthday.
Okay.
We'll be celebrating that in the afternoon, evening.
Bring him along.
I think I'm going to try to talk my old man into coming down to Pulaski Days.
That would be a blast.
You said Diamond Hall, right?
Diamond Hall.
I don't know if he's ever been. Like I said, I have never been.
Just the only thing you have to do. If you want to fit in, wear a red shirt.
That's it.
That's it.
All right. I don't know if I'd have to do some handshake and then bite off a guy's thumb.
No, but if anyone asks you what your name is, just say it's like Igor Stanovsky or something.
So nobody's going to give me grief.
No,
if as long as I give them.
If you're worried, if you think that they're onto you, just tell a screen door on a submarine joke or something like that. And right, guys, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, the broad's here later.
Hey, where's my wife, Stella?
Yeah, right.
So show up to that, and
fun.
All of the people listening to this, you can show up as well.
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that.
Tip big. I don't get any of those tips.
Oh, you don't?
But someone gets them. I think it just goes to the Polish Hall. But I get paid. I technically get paid in diamond dollars.
What's that?
It's Diamond Hall's own currency. It's their it's like their monopoly money because it's a club or it's a I guess lodge.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's the equivalent to the American Legion, the VFW, things like that.
Social club type thing. But you can use that. I could go back there and use that money on a regular night and buy drinks and yeah.
I don't think it can be stated enough that I was very excited about the potential for golf this weekend.
Yeah.
And you said, what do you doing Saturday? I go, yes, we're going Saturday. I go, nothing? Well, we can't golf.
How about, let's see, I'm looking at my schedule. I'm glad that we're hashing this out right now.
Yeah, listen, let me pull up my calendar and...
let's see, I could do early next week.
Yeah, as of now, that should work for me. I mean, Monday and
How would you feel about celebrating Columbus Day out on the golf course?
Can I wear a hat like him?
You can.
That's all I ask.
Monday. We're bowling Monday.
Bowling.
We're golfing Monday.
Should we go in and even though we have a voucher, should we go in and ask for Columbus Day discounts?
Oh, we don't have vouchers this year.
Good. No, that's fine. Okay, so we can ask for this.
There's no free ride again.
I thought you told me last week or 2 weeks ago. You're like, hey, I got another one of these things. We got to get it out of my house before it just burns.
Unless I completely forgot about it.
Yeah, you may not. It may have been somebody else who said that, but yeah, now I'm going to ask for Columbus Day discounts.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Do you happen to be like 1/32 Spanish?
No, but growing up, I always had Columbus Day off from school.
Did you really?
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
in the Northeast,
amazing,
in the
isn't it?
Northeast, it's a holiday.
It's still a federal holiday, isn't it? Like for like post office and things like that.
I think that the post office is closed.
That's madness to me.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
One of the saddest stories to you. How much time do we have? I don't want to neglect what we wanted to get to.
We're at 55.
Okay, let me tell the story quick. So, I'm probably 7 or 8 years old, and they at my elementary school they would do a, student spotlight garbage, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And it would just ask, what's your favorite animal? What's your favorite sports team? What do you want to be when you grow up? Yada yada. Let me tell you how rationally thought out I was in 3rd grade. Okay, when I got to the, who's your favorite athlete? Herman Moore from the Detroit Lions.
Right.
What, it asked, what do you want to do when you grow up? What do you think I put down at the like I said, 3rd grade? What are we talking? 8 years old?
Yeah. So
what would you guess? Somebody, a 3rd grader, would put down.
I want to be a football player, or
right?
A baseball player,
maybe an astronaut.
Yeah, even at that point, like firefighter is still.
Yeah, it's something that kids are thinking of. Like, look at those guys, right? Would it surprise you that I wrote down I wanted to be a mailman?
The luxurious career of the mailman.
That's my thinking. I'm like, look at those guys. They drive around all day.
Rain, sleet, snow, hail. Nothing will stop the mail.
Never. So I'm 8 years old, Steve, and I'm already in my mind.
You're that's the pinnacle.
That was what I hoped and aspired to be.
It couldn't get any better.
No, like that. Like, hey, we have this contract to play professional football. We know you're undersized, injury prone, and have no athletic ability. But here's a football contract.
No.
Hold on a second. Let me ask my supervisor down at the local PO if I can get the time off.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it's a federal job. You get 8,000 personal paid days.
Of course. And
I'm sure 3 federal holidays will fall in between that. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and take that time off.
Yeah.
But 8 years old, and I'm already thinking, man, those guys got it good. Driving around all day.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like it starts at a decent time in the morning. They're not out at 6 o'clock at night. I could see making that work for a lifeline.
Mailman.
It's not a bad... I mean, even now I look at it and I go, hey, if I ever am really, really bored... I'm just going to jump on their site and start filling out an application for giggles.
Yeah, you should.
I might. I don't know why, but now it feels like my love is rekindled.
That's all it took is just this conversation.
Yeah, I've always had a fascination with those novelty mailboxes too. Maybe this is my subconscious telling me.
Yeah.
It's a gigantic golf ball or the fish's mouth. Yeah. Look at that.
Or the mailbox that's just a miniature version of the house.
Oh, isn't that great?
The whole roof opens up.
Man, it's amazing. I wonder, is there a rivalry between the postal workers and the local newspaper delivery? Because if I'm a mailman, in my mind, I'm driving by every house with a ball bat and I'm knocking down the local paper delivery boxes, right? Take that, kid.
I don't know why that would be a rivalry. They're two different mediums.
Well, they're both, I don't know, same area. End of the driveway business, right?
This is my end of the driveway.
And then some 13.
Okay, you just kind of trailed off there. Yeah, you know.
Listen, if you don't have an end of the driveway rivalry with your neighbor or whoever it may be, I don't know what you're wasting your time with. But in my mind, there's some 12-year-old kid going out there every Sunday with the newspaper. Oh, man, not again.
Duct taping it back.
Mailman Kyle knocked another one down.
As you drive away, shaking your fist out the wrong window because you're driving on the opposite side of your little mail car.
Eat dirt, kid!
Maybe one day your dream will come true.
Right? Like, so, I mean, can you imagine, though? What do you want to be? What is less even of an exciting prospect at that age? Is there any,
Yeah, you may as well have said, I want to be in middle management.
Yeah, I really hope to be a nighttime manager at Staples.
Yeah.
That's nice. And then the teachers are going back there that's probably his peak.
Mailman. Well, at least he's
realistic.
He's playing on the right field.
I think that set the stage for my life. I knew what I was getting into.
Yeah.
3rd grade, I'm already like, look at that hairline, already going back. Eyesight shot, gonna need glasses. I know that. If you could look at...
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you could look at where you are today if you were in 4th grade and your 3rd grade disappointment?
Yeah. Oh, man. Because I was convinced I was going to be a pilot or an astronaut.
Right.
Because whenever I have really good eyesight, so whenever I would go to the doctor, you get your doctor's appointment every year and they do the eye exam, and say, people with eyesight like you, they grow up to be astronauts and pilots. Doctors, hell no. They grow up to be astronauts and pilots. So that was I'm like, okay, well, when's that career coming along?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have to do. It's just going to be handed to me.
It happens, right? Aren't they going to do some type of aptitude testing in high school? It'll come along.
Someone's going to show up and say, "Hey, pilot, let's go."
I got this big Boeing out back. You want to take it for a spin?
Yeah. Hey, you ever heard of the space shuttle?
Yeah.
Want to fly that?
Pretty much takes care of itself. You just press go.
So, that didn't really work out. And man, I still want to be a pilot. I still think about that. I took one or two. I took one lesson. Didn't work out well. Threw up all over the place.
Don't they say that happens, though, quite a bit?
Oh, they're right. It did. It did.
I imagine that's what I mean.
It was a hot day.
And I feel like they do that, too. No, same way the Blue Angels do it when they take you for a ride.
Yeah.
They're like, let's make this guy pass out in his own vomit type of thing, you know? So, that's fascinating. I mean, we have an acquaintance in common that's a pilot. And whenever I see those pictures, man, that's cool. Can you imagine? We're in the middle of Michigan. You can just get to Florida in 3 hours, or that size plane 4 or 5 hours, but still a long weekend to Miami Beach.
Yeah,
come on, and think of the chicks.
Oh yeah,
hypothetically speaking, of course.
Right, of course. You show up with your own plane, though.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, my car? Oh, you mean my airplane?
Oh, you want to go to the club? Did you mean the one in Atlanta? Because we're going to fly there.
Oh, man. Do you want to get to the...
Yeah. I mean, it's up to you. You're the one who has to work at the stupid time of the day. I think it's good to get to.
Yeah, I saw the... Nike, a while back, probably a year ago or so, they announced that they were... Remember, last year was Back to the Future Day. I think it was in November.
October. I thought it was October.
October, November, whatever. But, they had announced back then that they were coming out with the self-lacing shoe that was in Back to the Future Part 2. Mm-hmm. And if you remember, Marty puts the shoes on. They just latch right around his feet. That's cool. Awesome. Well, they're actually out now. They announced Tuesday the release of the 2016 Nike Mag, featuring power laces made famous in the Back to the Future Part 2 movie, but they only made 89 pairs of them.
I'm assuming we talked a little bit about it. It has to be because it was released in 1989.
I'm assuming so, yeah. The shoes will be raffled off. You can buy a ticket for $10 until October 17th, and it benefits the Michael J. Fox Foundation. Anyone can enter. And there's no limit to the amount of tickets that can be purchased. All tickets go to the Michael J. Fox Foundation. That's pretty awesome.
It's very cool.
So if you want, we can check out. We should be able to check out.
Do
this.
a little video for it.
Yeah, they had like a little promotional video.
At Nike, we define ourselves by helping athletes reimagine their potential. But sometimes we reimagine the very future of sport itself.
Look at those things.
Nearly 30 years ago, we did just that with the Nike Mag. In 2011, we built a version of the Nike Mag to help the Michael J. Fox Foundation.
It's worth noting that they are the ugliest shoes I've ever seen in my life.
You know what I will never understand? I was going to ask you this. I will never understand the sneakerheads.
No.
I feel like I can respect a nice looking shoe, but shoes nowadays are so off the wall. I just don't get the fascination with them. And the thing, you see lines out the door at whatever I mean, do they have Nike shoe stores or just Nike stores?
I guess so.
That
people
like
line outlets
up.
And stuff.
It's insane to me. And then they're like $200 or $250 a pair. So these do look just disgusting.
Yeah.
And
I'll post this video in the description here.
Yeah. And I remember the initial pair because there was the video a few years back of that pair they made, or one of them they gave to Michael J. Fox, and he put them on, and then that was a really cool video.
Yeah.
But boy, you can't imagine how just weird they're light up on the front.
Yeah, they have the blinking lights in the soles on the back.
Oh,
Find a cure for Parkinson's disease. We had begun our journey with product that comes alive. And this past spring, we introduced the HyperAdapt 1.0 that senses the body and reacts. And last year, we delivered on the full promise of the Nike Mag, the version we've been waiting for, the one that senses the foot and laces itself.
it's remarkable.
And now
make
it's
that
your
noise?
turn. I am thrilled to announce that Nike has partnered with the Michael J. Fox Foundation once again. And this time, we're hosting a draw where anyone can participate, with all proceeds going toward the fight against Parkinson's. The moment is here. The draw for the Nike Mag is now officially open.
By the way, that man could not look like he would represent Nike any less. I could pick him out of a crowd and he would represent like the cop procedural drama on NBC. Looking at him, it couldn't be more foreign that he is whatever, the CEO, CFO of Nike at this point.
It just bugged me how he said draw and not drawing. So I missed everything else he said. But yeah, those are come on.
The shoe, it's so different. I mean, you heard him mention the whatever they did last year, where it conforms to your foot. And
yeah, that's
so
cool.
you put your foot in, and it like compresses to fit around your foot perfectly.
Yeah, but I had a pair of Reebok pumps in like 1988 that did the same thing.
Yeah, and
I mean, granted, you pump them up, and there's a good chance that the release valve wouldn't work. So then you're just stuck with these really tight shoes forever.
Stab it on the side. You got to deflate it.
Yeah, you'd stab a pencil right through the sole.
That's insane. Yeah. Oh man, that I don't understand shoe. Like my coolest shoe I ever thought I had, right, was the. Did you ever get the East Bay catalog, Steve?
Of course.
You were a teenage boy. Of course you got the East Bay catalog.
Well, I mean, where else was I going to get the latest pair of Airwalks?
I will take a picture of these shoes and send them to you, and we can post it because I wore them 2 weeks ago. So these shoes I bought when I was a teenager. I can't get rid of them. They're so fascinating to me, right? They're from a company called Dadass Supreme.
Dadass Supreme.
To be found in the back clearance section of your 2006 East Bay catalog.
Okay.
These things are chrome on chrome.
You wore chrome shoes?
Oh, it's like the shiny silver. And now they're dirty, so they don't quite catch the rays of the sun like they used to.
Them?
I need to. They need an update. They've sat on my shoe rack easily 5-6 years without being touched. Well, we were going out last weekend with a couple of my friends were over. I said, you know what?
Time to bust them out.
Grab these things. And they still fit, which is kind of sad. It means I haven't grown in like 12 years. And they still look great. Oh, do they shine. Man, if I was single and with hair and without glasses and better outlook on life, I'm sure the chicks would have been everywhere.
The ones that I always wanted from the East Bay catalog, they were it was a pair of Airwalks, but they were tennis ball, like they made out of tennis ball material.
Right.
They were awesome.
So nice.
I have to look at them and see if 35-year-old Steve agrees with 8th grade Steve.
I actually looked for these shoes of mine while you're searching there, Steve, and you can't find mine anywhere. Tell me you found them. Yours.
Of course I found them. Look at that. Look how cool they are.
Oh, those are so
It's
fuzzy.
a tennis ball.
Those are so fuzzy.
Can I order them?
Those look nice, man.
For sale.
Those look nice.
Airwalk gym shoe re-release.
Are we just so insanely out of touch? Like, is everybody listening like, they don't get a shoe? Like, it's all about the Yeezys. I don't even know what that is. Is it just because Kanye West has a shoe, so they're popular?
Yeah.
Because I saw a couple of athletes wearing the cleats of his in the first quarter of the season, and I think they look atrocious.
Yeah, they're not good. Not good at all.
I think we're just old, and we don't understand the shoe culture.
Yeah.
I respect it. Listen, you're talking to a guy who collects comic books and other garbage that are worthless, right? So I respect it. I just think you're wrong.
Well, I think if we're going to bring back this shoe from Back to the Future, we have to bring back, like, what is the other movie tech that you would like? I think that, I mean, right off the bat, obviously, I want the spaceship from Flight of the Navigator.
Right. The one thing I think of right now, not for crime purposes, it's too much work. I want the holographic screen from Minority Report.
Oh,
with those gloves that you spin it and twist it and throw a piece away and bring a piece. Like, how awesome would that be?
Yeah, kind of similar to the Hunger Games, where they had the hologram map in front of them and they could just pick stuff up and move it around.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Because that's a step above. Now you see old white guys on Fox News doing touch screens and not having, like, the sensitivity doesn't work or they don't know how to do it, so they're just, like, mashing it with half their fist.
Especially now with, like, with the election coming up.
Oh, that's all you're going to see.
You know that there's going to be the maps where they touch it once and it turns blue, but they touch it twice and it turns red, and it updates all the electoral votes.
It makes me so happy because they even have these on a local level now, so you'll see whoever local political reporter man pressing, like, well, we'll zoom in on Washtenaw County, and we'll see how they skewed on Proposal 2.
Oh, like Daryl Jensen looks like he's running away with the drain commissioner vote.
Yeah, look at this, and 32 votes off of Elm Street for this one. Nice turnout on Elm.
All right, so I want the hologram thing. I want the Flight of the Navigator spaceship. Iron Man suit, obviously.
Oh, come on. That has to be done. How is that not done right now?
Yeah. It
should
that's
be.
Listen,
if
Tony, we're talking about like colonizing Mars by 2060.
Yeah, right? And you tell me you can't get me a suit that uses whatever powerful light to blast me into the sky and talk to a fake butler? Like, what's the holdup, people? Come on, Musk.
Gotta happen.
Come on, Musk.
Yeah. Forget about your Teslas. Forget about your Model 3s.
Yeah.
That you have to make 500,000 of them in the next 2 days in order to meet the demand. Get me that Iron Man suit.
Yeah. I still want an actual hoverboard.
Yeah.
I don't like the no-hands Segway thing. Nice excuse, and I get it, but you're not hovering.
Not a hoverboard.
Okay, so stop trying to pawn that off. That's not true.
Yeah.
Is it possible for me to get Predator technology where I can have the little triangle zoom-in thing?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
It seems like it shouldn't be.
Well, I mean, they're already able to give blind people like bionic eyes.
Right?
That's basically just stick a zoom on that thing.
Oh, it's got to happen as well. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. Because I'm thinking sci-fi, but really you don't even need to think that. You just need to think of like movies in the future.
Yeah.
That, not even necessarily sci-fi. I think so, and this is, I guess, the logical guy coming out of me. This is obscure. Do you remember I, Robot with Will Smith?
Yeah, of course.
Do you remember the parking garage?
Yeah.
How awesome would that be right now?
Yeah.
Like, just drop it off and it goes in a weird tube, and it's like this big revolving Ferris wheel. That's perfect. Yeah. Do that. Make it happen.
They have similar stuff to like in major cities.
Yeah, where they like lift you're on a hoist or something.
And they stack it like it's shoe boxes.
Yeah.
We got it, man. We already got it.
We're finally catching up.
Yeah. And then Johnny Five from Short Circuit, the robot.
Oh, sure, obviously. I mean,
I guess I probably could have.
Well, on that same regard, I want the robot from Rocky.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
When he got
you brought the birthday cake.
Yeah. He got too big headed and got himself a robot.
Yeah. Ah, the good old days.
Right?
They could be ours.
That's great.
We need that.
Well, that flew by. Let me say that. For starting late, that felt like it flew by.
Yeah, we're just about at our deadline here.
Yeah. Again, all the stuff I teased at the end of last week that I was like, oh man, I can't believe time's up.
Didn't get to
Didn't even approach it. That's good though. We like that.
Do we end the show with the same song that we started the show with?
Well, we got to have, for now, yes.
Okay.
But then I think
maybe
next week we'll have like a fade out music bed. I think the one you texted to me is a nice fade out music bed.
Let me see. It's pretty bassy.
I actually really like this as an intro.
You know what I
our
did?
Sponsors this week, the Amazon Prime Studio.
This one I really liked also.
Oh yeah, listen to that. Tell me you don't want to jive right now.
Yeah. Pretty nice. But that's the beginning of the show song.
Yeah.
I don't even know what this one is. Oh, that's kind of funky.
That's nice. I like this. That little bass, like, all right, thanks to our sponsors this week, Amazon Prime, for supplying the setup in the APS, as always. Oh, come on out. We've got some dates for you. Be out Thursday, Fairlanes Bowling Alley.
This Saturday also at
Diamond Hall.
Diamond Hall, corner of Michigan and Diamond. Be there from open till close, apparently. Stop out, and I will make sure that I mess up your drink.
Yeah.
I do it every year. Like last year when 2 years ago, somebody ordered some drink that had 3 ingredients in the title, and I didn't know that was one drink, and I gave them 3. I was like, here's your rum, here's your Coke, and here's your whatever the third ingredient was.
That's amazing. That's perfect. But, yeah, well, I'm sure we'll have tales of that next week. Maybe some of the stories we talked about last week that I wanted to get to for this week.
Yeah. But until then, you can download and subscribe in iTunes, Stitcher. Hopefully by next week we'll be on Google Play. We're really trying to do that. But yeah, definitely share the episode and leave a review too. We'd love to see the reviews. And we actually set up some social media, but that's not
for now.
Yeah, not even going to make it public.
Very soon we will be able to have a little bit more direct communication with you. That I know we talked about. I don't want to sound hypocritical when we talk about it. We talked on the first show that it's not really our thing. Well, it's really an avenue to give you the show and information, an easier drop site, because not everybody has Twitter.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll hopefully roll that out pretty soon. But until then, we'll talk to you next week. Be sure to share the episodes and download them and share them and download them and share them and download them and even review them.
See you soon, Captain Bowling.
Experiences make life more meaningful. With MasterCard's Priceless.com, you can immerse yourself in unforgettable experiences in dining, sports, entertainment, and more in over 40 exciting destinations. From golf with a legendary player, a cooking class with a celebrity chef, or getting on the field during the 2024 MLB postseason. Fuel your passions and create memories with experiences on Priceless.com. Explore experiences today at Priceless.com, exclusively for MasterCard cardholders. Terms and conditions apply.
Replacing a ban on marijuana with a ban on menthol? It doesn't make sense. Tell the White House, don't ban menthol cigarettes. Paid for by Americans for Consumer Protection. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. BuildingAmericasFuture.com.